everybody, it's the Real Savvy coming to you with Mushroom Oasis. I've been wanting to play this game for a while now, and now that I got a PC, I can do it! Yay! So we're gonna jump on in and get started. Okay, I had to turn the music up, so, because I want to hear the music. It sounds lovely. Look at the little hearts and the mushrooms. Oh my god, it's so cute. Anyway, let's jump on in. Is it gonna start? Okay, there it goes. What's your name? My name is Savvy. Oh wait, hold on. My cat. Oh, what cat should I do? I got 3. Oh, let's do little baby. Because I got Cloud, I got Devil, and I got little baby, or wee baby. Because he's my little wee baby. Your cat is male. Wee baby has been missing for a while now. No! It was an indoor cat, but it had a tendency of wild cat on a mission, trying to leave whenever the door was open. Oh no, wee baby. Chaos and playtime wasn't the only thing for little mister. Oh no. I figured he'd come running if I left out some food on the porch. 3 days later, still no cat. No, not wee baby. I've tried everything I could think of. Asking around the neighborhood, putting up missing cat posters. Sadly, nothing came from my efforts. I couldn't search for him during the day since I had to work keeping me occupied. There's only so many hours in the evening I could yell around the streets looking for him. Oh, there's only one place left I could think of that he might have run off to. The woods by my house, right across the street. I definitely caught him eyeing the birds and the squirrels that ran alongside the perimeters of the front window, his teeth clicking in excitement. I was no outdoorsy person by any means. In fact, the thought of going in there scares me. But I had to find him, or at least try. First weekend that came around, I packed some water, wee baby's favorite treats, a compass to be safe. I wasn't sure where to even begin looking for him, so I started walking in a straight line, calling out his name every few steps. It really didn't take long for me to realize I was way in over my head. Oh, look, it's so nice, so pretty. Why did I think this was a good idea? It's hard to find my bearings within the surrounding trees. I didn't want to admit I was lost yet. At least not yet. I could only squint down at my compass as the needle spun slowly. Pretty sure they weren't made to do that. Did I really bring a busted compass on my first venture out into these woods? No, something's messing up that compass. I figured that would be just my luck. The only thing risking my own safety was my own incompetence. I shook my head hastily. No time for negativity. Wee baby has to be out here somewhere, cold, lost, and hungry. I had to keep going. It's been hours. I'm so lost. I don't even know why I keep searching. Even after the moment I'd realized that. Why did I think this was a good idea? Hunger had been gnawing at my stomach for a while now, having missed breakfast and lunch altogether. The heat and humidity from the afternoon sun was unbearable, but the cooling air did nothing to soothe me. Even if I were to head home, I couldn't even pinpoint where that was. What do people do in this situation? I knew it was baseline optimistic, but walking onwards, really the only thing I could think of to do. Surely I'll come across something familiar. I trudged on, my shoes carefully avoiding the tree roots and flying across the forest floor. But in my weakened state, plus the approaching darkness, I found myself stumbling through the rough terrain. My feet hit something soft jutting out of the ground. Ah! My hand shot out as I lost my balance. Feeling my feet clumsily tried to find a purchase as I wobbled backwards, arms flapping. Oof! What? My shoes landed smack dab in the circle of mushrooms, burnt off crisp wisp clouds that erupted from the clusters. Ugh. Stuck my nose in my elbow, avoid breathing it in. I couldn't indifferent one of the tree leaves from another, the life of me. But I'm pretty sure humans are supposed to inhale whatever the hell that was. Smelled strongly of rotten wood, wet dirt, even as it cleared. Something shiny quickly caught my attention. Ooh, shiny. I swooped down to pick it up, gasping under my breath. It was my baby's collar! Oh no! My cat doesn't wear a collar. I need to get him one though. Covered in whatever the hell these mushrooms released. Looked around desperately for any sign of him. Oh my god, no. I just noticed that. No! It's the cat! It's cat imprint! Wee baby! Wee baby! Psst, 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 psst. I coughed from inhaling some of the remaining dust floating in the air. I should really steer clear of this. Pocketing wee baby's collar, I retreated carefully until I could breathe again. Stepping back, I could still smell it. It must have stuck in my hair and clothes. Quickly covering confirmed my suspicion. Slightly cringed, yet thin, generous coating covered my sleeves and jeans. I leaned against the tree, dusting off my clothes in a naive attempt to get the dust and smell out. No avail. If anything, it felt like I'm breathing more of it in. What used to be a musty now turned sweet. I found myself inhaling even deeper, trying to pinpoint the smell. Cucumbers? Smells like fresh cucumbers. A tangy feeling crept in my hands and neck, pinprickles spreading across my limbs as strange heat reached my face. Oh no. I started to feel drunk and woozy. My senses were numb. It should freak me out. Why is it like that? And yet, strange comfort washed over me. Why is that why is that pink? I should lie down. Right now. My legs skated out from underneath me, my body toppling over at an awkward angle. I laid there, what is pretty, and stared, and stared, and stared. It was nice here, a peaceful calm. Perfect place for a nap even. I'm dying. My eyes grew heavy as I swam in and out of conscious. My bad. Yep, a nap sounds really nice right now. I'm gonna close my eyes and take a nap. Oh? Lots of critters passing through lately. Sorry this happened to you, little one. Could have been anyone, but it had to be you. Wait! A human! How'd you end up all the way out here? Still breathing, too. Geez, I can't leave you here. What should I do? I woke with a jolt. It was warm, but comfortably so. Felt the weight of a blanket on me as I tried to sit up. I couldn't move my body. My fingers twitched uselessly at my sides as my eyes darted around in panic. Glancing about, I could see the interior of a cabin, or at least the ceiling of one. I couldn't see much past the corner of my eyes. Oh no, we're paralyzed. Where was I? How did I get here? A desperate feeling rose in my chest. I had to leave. Right now. This was wrong. Wrong! I wasn't meant to be here. I could hear the crackling of a fire nearby. It sounded like a source of warmth I had felt on waking up. I could hear footsteps approaching. I'm gonna stay awake. Oh, hello! Oh, nice jacket. Look at that jacket. Looks nice. Fluttering my eyes, straining to look at the person approaching. My eyes widened and I took in their appearance. Protrusions from their forehead catching my attention. Oh, he's got horns. Look at that. Not to mention the green skin. Yeah. That's a pretty color. And he got a little red tip ears. Like a little mushroom. Oh, it's cute. The stranger didn't sense my uneasy as they heaved a heavy sign of relief. You're awake. That's good. Very, very good. How are you feeling? I blinked. Oh. Sorry, I forgot about that. Here. The person held up a couple of nuts. Strong, sweet smell coming from the room. A gentle hand grabbed my chin to open my mouth. I couldn't even move to resist. Don't worry, it'll help you feel better. I promise. Drink up. It's a liquid to kill me. No. The liquid hit my tongue. All I could feel was a vague sense of heat. What's the fireplace? Is that what I'm hearing? I think so. Sounds like a crackling. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, continue. As I kept drinking, taste and texture returned. The sweetness of berries and chamomile coating my taste buds. I could even detect a hint of mint. Oh, fuck mint. Ugh. I don't like mint. I lifted my head finally, hands fisting at my sides as I propped myself up onto my elbows. The person kept a steady hand on my chin, careful not to pour it into much, just in case I choked. I finished every last drop, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. I stared at my fingers, realizing I had full anatomy over my body again. Yay, I can move! Goodness new! How are you feeling? Better, thank you. Stranger laughed. Oh, I like the way you sound. Oh, okay. It's been ages since I've talked to anyone, much less a voice as nice as yours. Oh, that's so sweet. Stop, you're gonna make me blush. I brushed off their strange compliment. Finally look around the cabin properly. Oh my god, look at his jacket. His jacket looks so cozy, and his shirt does too. Oh my god. Can you make me one? It was a simple room filled with sparse, I can't fucking read. But decorated woven furniture. Fit for someone living alone. Looks cozy. Look at the bunny. The bunny. Open archway to the right led to what I assumed was the kitchen. Yeah, you're right. There's a kitchen right there. Next to it was a door closed shut. Yeah. Possibly the bathroom. Taking it in, there was a common theme of knitted decorations strewn about. Any available surface had been pattern knitted tablecloths covering it. Unfinished project laid beside the bedside table where I sat, a pair of knitting needles jutting out of a pile of yarn from the basket. As far as I could tell, it looked like it belonged to the beginnings of a green scarf. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah. The stranger was comfortable in staying silent, observing me as I glanced around. He's cute! Look at him! Oh, that was a hat! That was cool! Look at the little hat! They tossed their hat onto the bed, scruffling their hair and making it even messier. With their hat off, their unique features were impossible to ignore. Look at his little horns! They're so cute! Oh my gosh! I like this story so far. I'm doing good, my dear. How are you? Welcome, welcome. I decided that tonight we are going to stream some game from the computer. So, we chose this one. Yeah, we got lost in the woods and we've been saved by, I don't know who his name is yet. So sorry, but who? What are you? Oh, I didn't introduce myself, did I? No. Mychael. Oh, okay. With a Y. Well, Mychael with a Y, how are you doing? You're very green today. I like his shirt and his jacket. It looks rather comfortable. I shook my head. No, I meant that, Mychael stared at me. Their left ear twitching. You look very... He snorted. Ugly? Off-putting? Out! His tongue is blue! I'm having fun with this. This is fun. No! Just different. Different, huh? You're just being nice. Well, then explain yourself. I mean, that's kind of rude, isn't it? Yeah, you ain't wrong. I am being kind of rude. You did save my life. Paused for a moment before pinching the bridge of my nose, exhaling slowly. I'm just... Sorry, it's been a long day is all. I should be thanking you. If it helps, it's a skin condition. Yeah, that's what you humans call them. The way they said it didn't sound confident. And the ears? Genetics? Right. And I assume a little, away vaguely at their horns, antenna. Those things are just cosplay to complete the look? Would that make a convincing argument? I squinted. Maybe. You're a creature of the forest. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't be ashamed. Then yeah, it's cosplay. Doesn't explain everything. Michael huffed a nervous laugh. Listen, I'm just a guy living by myself in the woods. You don't need to worry yourself further than that, okay? Something about his tone compelled you not to question his existence anymore. Oh, what's this green pig? What's going on? He's just some guy, living in the woods. Completely normal. Right, completely normal. I'm Savvy. Michael beamed. Nice to meet you, Savvy. I fiddled with the blankets as Michael scooted closer from the edge of the bed. I know, I already asked, but how are you feeling? Any aches, sores, nausea? Intrusive thoughts, weird impulses, fever maybe? Oh, hold on, whoa. He placed his hand on my forehead before I could react. Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't read it. What? Surprised me. His hands were calloused and quickly reacting as he gave thoughtful hum. You seem to be lucid. That's a good sign. Oh, great. He hummed absolutely. His ear twitching reminded me of a protrude cat. My cat! Oh, shoot! Sorry if this is out of nowhere, but have you seen a cat around these parts? His name is Wee Baby. He's a sweet little thing, about this big, skittish, but he can approach strangers if he needs to. I pulled out my phone, showing him a picture of him, only to find it missing from my back pocket. Wait, where is... I haven't... Huh? Your cat. I haven't seen it. Oh, I see. I slumped against the pillows, rubbing at my temples. He lost his collar, too. Even if someone finds him, they won't be able to tell where he's from. Damn it. He stayed quiet, watching me from his side of the bed. You came all the way out here for a cat? Huh? Of course. To a point where you're willing to run yourself ragged in this deep in the forest for a cat? You realize how far you've wandered away from the nearest town? I found you nearly unconscious in an area nobody set foot in years. For a cat. He sounded like he was holding himself back from giving me a stern lecture, as if in disbelief I had such little regard for my own survival. My cheeks grew heated at how stupidly reckless that sounded. I mean, he's not just a cat, he's my family. I know it's stupid, even trying, but I had to. Mychael eased up, shoulders tense as he looked at me from underneath the unruly bangs. Family, huh? He finally tipped his head at me with a smile. You're willing to wander this far for such a small critter? I've met my fair share of lost campers, hunters, and a few runaway teens or two. But someone looking for their pet? You're kind of weird, aren't you? Yes, I am. How'd you notice? I stuttered, much to his amusement. Speak for yourself! I love it. I love it. Whose cosplays in the middle of the woods? He laughed deep-heartedly when restoring from his chest. Fair. I think I'm starting to like you, Savvy. Oh, like what? He smiled widened, but something about it was off. Is that a nice smile? What are you talking about? He was showing too much teeth. Was it? It felt like he hadn't talked to someone in a really long time and forgot how to smile the right amount. I rubbed my neck, trying to think of something else to say. Can I ask how did I get here? Oh, like I said, I found you in the woods, not far from here. Oh, geez, really? I knew I was tired, but I couldn't have possibly... Huh? I did step in something important. Familiar pinpricks crept up my skin. Home? I need to go home. Mychael stiffened as he grabbed my shoulder. Never mind that. You've fallen unconscious from, heat stroke. Heat stroke? I got pink again. No, that's not wasn't what happened. I was fine up until... Mychael shook his head, insensibly, leaning closer. No, Firefly, you weren't fine at all. If I hadn't found you when I did, well, who knows what could have happened. You could have got injured or attacked by a wild animal. There's dangers in these woods, you know? No, he was right. You had been so foolish. How did you think you could do this on your own? Searching for your cat in the middle of the woods? And to go in without bringing any water. Passing out from heat stroke of all things. How could you have been so stupid? I shook my head, draining, too foggy to be picked up part of my thoughts. He sounded confident, so why should you doubt him? Well, if it means anything, I'm glad you were there. Mychael relaxed, his hand on his lap once more. He grinned at me. So am I, Savvy. I'm definitely glad I found you. Oh, is he blushing? His ears turned even bluer. Look at that. His eyes were hidden fully behind his unruly hair, but I couldn't help feeling how intensely they were fixated on me as he said that. Hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Sure. Without the distraction, I only just realized how uncomfortable I was sitting still. The blanket on me was starting to itch, just as desperate need to get home and begin to rise in me again. This was interesting, but I really should get going now. Wait! My host jumped up from the bed before I could. I mean, you can't. I can't just let you wander off in the woods this late. Please stay a little bit. Come. He grabbed my hand and led me across the room. Stepped in the kitchen, and a fragrant smell of cooked potatoes and meat hung in the air. Ooh. 2 plates had been set out to a small circular table. I cannot read. It's going good, my dear. How are you? Complete with utensils and mugs of tea. Oh, this sounds nice. I had me some bourbon chicken with some rice today with some tea. So, yeah, I can relate. It sounds delicious, because it was delicious. I wasn't expecting guests today, so the food's nothing fancy. Nah, it's cool. Food's food, man. Just join me for dinner. He looked so hopeful, ears drooping. You'd feel so bad if you had said no. Sure! Just agree with everything he says. Whatever. What's the worst that can happen? Mychael's jaw dropped to the floor for a second. He quickly recovered. Yes, of course. Here, come. Sit. I'll serve up the cottage pie. Cottage pie? What the hell's cottage pie? That sounds nice. In a minute. I sat as instructed, my stomach rumbling from something fierce as the smell was the only thing I could focus on. Man, that sounded like me earlier. Yes, that was definitely the right choice. I went to the store earlier, hungry as all get out, and I'm sitting there like getting stuff for tacos. I got stuff for more bourbon chicken. I ended up making more bourbon chicken for a second time in a row tonight, and I inhaled that. Oh my god! I think I got a new fix. Some bourbon chicken, delicious. What was so important that you had to leave so soon? The outside world can wait. You could stay here and enjoy my company. Oh, actually, I should ask, are you okay with meat for dinner? I can make something else for you if that's not your preference. I'm okay with meat. Oh, okay. You've been having the same dinner as me then. Yeah, meat and potatoes. Ooh. Mychael pattered about the small kitchen in almost giddy excitement. He put a pair of knitted oven mitts, humming as he stooped down and pulled a steaming tray of pie from the wooden stove. Ooh, the smell. It filled the kitchen in an instant as he brought it to the table, my stomach rumbling louder in response. I'm pretty sure Mychael could hear it. But he smiled and served up our portions. He discreetly cut me a bigger piece. I was grateful. Oh, that looks delicious. Is that the cottage pie? Oh, bruh. It does look good. Look at that. Got some carrots and some peas. The crust was nice golden color, streaked with crisp lines and garnish. The meat and vegetable fillings looked absolutely delectable and savory. The savory sauce leaking into the plate. Oh my god. Make me want cake. My mouth was watering, unsurprisingly considering the fact I haven't eaten all day. Careful now, it's still hot. I'm gonna eat like a hot pocket, where you take a bite out of it and it's still hot, so you do the hot pocket dance. You know, and then you let that sit on your tongue after you eat it for a minute, and then you take a minute, and then you go back for another bite of hot pocket. You again because you're just so hungry. Yeah, it was fair advice, but I didn't want to wait more than 2 blows before biting into my first forkful. Ah! It was definitely way too hot to start eating straight out from the oven. Mychael kept a polite expression, the corner of his mouth lifting as I panted with the piece still in my mouth. See, I told you the hot pocket bite. You're so hungry, you just He gave me a few seconds. I can't speak. He gave me a few seconds to recover. Elbow planted on the table. Is it good? I don't know. I can't taste it over how much I just burnt the hell out of my tongue. I nodded vigorously, even though my butts were burning. I couldn't taste anything. He laughed. It's usually better on the second bite. Yeah, probably not when I'm burning the hell out of myself. I slowed down. Hand on my mouth as Michael poked his fork into his own slice. I attentively blew on the pie to make sure it was cool before taking another bite. He was right. The second bite was a lot better. Seasoned potato crust was nicely crisp on top, cheesy and creamy in the middle. Savory meat filled well cooked and burst with flavor. Oh my god, sounds delicious. Makes me want a piece of chocolate cake. Every bite felt like home. My host watched me enjoying the meal from across the table. Michael, this is delicious. Do you like it? Yeah, it tastes amazing, Michael. He flushed. Oh my god, so he is blush blue. From the compliment rubbing the back of his neck. I'm glad. I like to think of myself as a decent cook, but I've never been able to get anyone else's opinion on that. I feel that. Do you like baking in particular? Not always. I usually go for simple dishes with any ingredients available. I feel that. I nodded. Though didn't say much else. I was more focused on scarfing down dinner, which thankfully Michael didn't seem to mind. The overall atmosphere was nice and homely. I could hear Michael tapping his feet from underneath the table. I guess he was happy that someone stayed for dinner. For it seemed like he'd lived alone, judging by the surrounding of his cabin. So, I'm kind of curious. He perked up instantly, focused solemnly on me. What made you want to live way out here? Oh, well, when you look at me, it's kind of easier to just live out of sight from everyone else. Because they scare you. Yeah, I get it. Pang of guilt shot through my chest. Yeah, thanks, me. We called him out. I was giving him a hard time about how he looked, too. Must have sensed clear as day on my face. Not that you're one of them. You've actually been nicer than most. Oh, have I? So I wonder if, what? Smile turned strained. Never mind. My point is, it's better here than anywhere else. Yeah, nature is pretty good to live in, yeah. Why don't you try the tea, Firefly? Firefly, I like that nickname. Is that my nickname? Thank you. He seemed uncomfortable now, eased with a different topic. Probably best to follow along. Oh, sure. I reached out towards my mug, only to push it off the edge with my clumsy fingers. Ah, wait! I bent over to the side to grab it, fully expecting it to fall just out of my reach and land it on the floor into broken pieces. Oh no. It never did. Oh, he's got a tail! That's so cool! And instead of long green appendage twisted around the ceramic mug, securely keeping it in place. Not even a drop had fallen out. My eyes trailed around the length of it until I pinpointed that it came from behind Michael and rested particularly behind his cardigan. Beneath his cardigan. Michael, is that yours? Oh, he's embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. The tail's cool. Your tail's cool, but don't be embarrassed. Michael buried his hands in his face in his hands. A strange appendage from before lowered to his side, the mug and toe. I'm sorry, Savvy. I think it's time I was honest. Oh, whoa, look at that. That's so cool. He lifted his head, fingers cradling his hair back to reveal his eyes. Those are some sick eyes. I frozen. It was two, no, multiple pairs of irises staring right into mine before darting to the side to avoid my gaze. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is who I really am. Please don't be scared. Freak out. I'm gonna freak out. Oh, he's got sex eyes. No, I'm gonna remain calm. It's all right. I think it looks pretty cool. Oh no, it is. That sucks, my dear. Maybe try restarting the stream. My video is like a few seconds behind. It's not like on correct, like, yeah. I swallowed happily, willing myself to not look away. He seemed to be holding his breath as I gripped the edge of the table. I felt unsettling every time he blinked those eyes on. Even when he wasn't looking at me. Don't be mean. Was it real? Can I touch you? I'm gonna touch your eye. I'm gonna make sure it's real. It had to be. Everything about him suddenly made so much more sense. The isolation, the advent behavior. He looked freaky, yes, but You also look sad. I swallowed thickly. I'm not scared. His many pupils blew wide, dilating like an excited wildcat. I sent a shiver up my spine. Okay, maybe just a little bit scared. Aw, don't say that. Oh, sorry. He hastily grabbed an empty plate and hid behind it, his shoulders scrunching up despite his stature. Oh no! Don't make us feel bad. Don't do that. Would it help if I just hide it? I could fix my hair like before, if that's what you prefer. His voice was muffled behind the ceramic barrier between us. It was kind of enduring. I slowly reached out to touch his hand, like brushed my fingertips, making him jump in place. Mychael? Yeah? Can you put that down? He slowly lowered the plate. Aww. His eyes still darted to the side, avoiding me. Can you look at me? Oh, don't look at me like that. Sorry, I just can't stop looking. This is so awkward. His hands were shaking. I looked down at the mug still floating next to him, hanging on for dear life. I reached over, plucked it straight from his grasp. I tentatively took a sip, noticed how Mychael was watching over me, over the rim of the mug. I know, it's so cute! He just wants a friend, he's just a little guy. The taste was mildly spicy. There's almost earthly bite to it. I recognized it instantly as ginger tea. I don't like ginger tea, I like green tea. It's better. It's almost room temperature, but it's still pretty good. Huh? You wanted me to try the tea, right? I like it, so thank you. Oh, I'm glad. Mychael relaxed back into his seat, following my lead as I picked up my fork once more. Silence didn't last long as Mychael fidgeted. Are you really okay with this? With me? I gave him a once-over, really taking in his features. It's very different than what I'm used to, but I think I can learn to like it. Is that weird to say? I mean, you're not bad to look at. It's actually kind of, damn it, what do I say? Cool. It's pretty, it's hot, it's cool. It's like something out of science fiction. Is that a good thing? Yeah. Oh. My point is, your appearance shouldn't matter. You've been nothing but kind to me so far. I'd be the worst kind of person to judge someone based on how they look. Damn right. I haven't known you for that long, but you seem like a good person. You're fine, Mychael. I smiled at him. We're fine. I see. He fidgeted some more before nodding, smiling a bit. Thanks, Savvy. I'll cherish this moment forever. He beamed at me with enthusiasm and went back to eating his food. What food? He had nothing on his plate. He picked up an empty plate a minute ago. Where'd the food go? Oh my god, that was something. We continued with a little bit of small talk, mostly stories about wee baby or snippets from my personal life. Mychael hung out on every word I said, not bothering to elaborate much about himself despite my burning curiosity. I could tell he was extremely insecure about his appearance, so it's probably best I keep my questions to myself for tonight. We cleaned up the kitchen in related silence, or relative silence, I'm sorry, I can't read. Mychael's storing away the rest of the pie as I washed the dishes by the sink. By the sink? Hold on, what? Being out here in this remote cabin, I wonder how he had running water. Maybe I'll ask it later. Oh, sorry, I got hiccups. So thanks for dinner. Thanks for the company. Oh, and please take the bed tonight. But, you are my guest. I am the host. Take the bed, okay? All right. I'll be out of your hair first thing in the morning. Mychael got quiet, staring at the floorboards. With his hair out of the way, you could finally read his expression. He seemed upset. Aw, he don't want you to leave. Is that okay? I do need your help, though. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna get lost again on my own. His tail flicked behind him. Yeah, I'll bring you home tomorrow morning. I heaved a sign of relief. Thanks, Mychael. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah. Good night, Savvy. Aw, he's so cute! Look at him! Good night, Mychael. He seemed really happy to be able to say that. I plopped myself down on Mychael's bed, getting comfortable beneath the blanket. I could hear the crackling of the fire in the background. Mychael was gathering some blankets of his own to make a makeshift bed on the floor in front of the fire. I thought there was a couch! He had the impressive collection of knitted items and comfortable nest forming in the center of the room. I want to sleep there! I don't want to sleep on the bed! Let me sleep next to the fire. That sounds more comfortable. No! That sounds way more comfortable than sleeping on the bed. What the hell, man? I want to change. I want to stay there. I hate to take the bed. My eyes trailed after his tail. Wait, my eyes trailed after his tail. Now out in the open as it clicked and swayed. Kind of like a cat. He can be your new cat. Sorry. I miss wee baby. Now with a full stomach, dozing off came easy. I didn't even realize how tired I was. I listened to the gentle crackling of the fire, my vision darkening. He's gonna be in my face, ain't he? Yep, I'll do. Good night, Abby. He does. He looks happy to have someone there. Like, he really does. Can you blame him? He stays out in the woods all the time thinking everybody's gonna judge him. Soft hum invaded my dreams, stirring me awake. This morning, I got open my eyes. I blinked, my eyes open into an unfamiliar surrounding spot under the blanket. Clearly wasn't mine. What are you talking about, unfamiliar? We were here last night. Where? Oh, I spotted a familiar figure of my host seated at a stool in front of the fire, and swiftly working on a green scarf bundled in his lap. Wow, he knits. I could knit too. Let's knit together. Teach me. His back was towards me, and I caught a glimpse of his finger as as the needle softly clicked between the yarn. He looked incredibly adept at using them, rhythmic movement, almost hypnotic as the fibers moved together in an intractable pattern. I can read. I slowly stirred into sitting position, rubbing at my eyes. Quick movement caught his attention, ear flicking in my direction before his eyes trained on me. Just like last night, his pupils flew up as we made eye contact. His expression lit up in an instant he saw me. Oh, you look so happy. Just a little guy. Savvy, hey, I'm glad you're finally awake. You look so tired. I didn't want to disturb you until you'd gotten enough rest. Aw, he's so sweet. Good morning, Mychael. Good morning, Savvy. Did you sleep well? I was still too groggy to answer his question, yawn slipping out as I stretched. He smiled kindly, a soft chuckle underneath his breath. Like a baby, then. He pointed over his shoulder at the door beside the fireplace, tilting his head towards it. You can freshen up in the bathroom if you'd like, while I start making us some food. Look at that smile. How could you not like him? Oh, my God, he's so cute. I haven't eaten breakfast, but now... Wait. I'd have eaten breakfast by now, but I'd wanted you to join me while food was still hot. How do eggs and toast sound? They sound delicious. Great! Look how I said that and I got the option. I'll see you in the kitchen then. He tucked away his knitting materials and set it aside. Oh, I also have a surprise for you after breakfast. Really, a surprise? I like surprises. It's not the most exciting surprise, but just join me when you're ready. Oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get dressed. Not get dressed, but I'm gonna freshen up and make myself look nice, not sleepy, and I'm gonna go see what this present is. I want to see the surprise. I'm such a child. Oh my God. But anyway, he ducked into the kitchen without another glance. I could hear his boots thudding about the floorboards, cabinets opening and closing as selections in the kitchen. I suppose that's my cue. I rolled out of bed, leaving the warmth of Mychael's blankets, and trotting over to the door Mychael pointed out. Stepping inside, I didn't know what I was expecting when he said he had a bathroom, but it was surprisingly spacious. Wow, look at that tub. Toilet was suspect. Look, everything looked like it was carved and polished out of wood. Yeah, look at that, man. Seemed to have everything you'd find in a modern bathroom. A sink with a cabinet, a shower, and a tub. Ooh, look at the shower. This shower, a nice shower. I want a tub like that. Even a toilet. You guys, we should get a toilet. Curious. I crept over to the toilet and peculiar. I can't fucking say it. Okay, you guys, I apologize. There are some words I know, but I cannot speak them. I told you I have troubles reading and speaking the English language. There wasn't a tank like you'd expect where the water would be stored. Instead, there was a compartment on the side full of sawdust and a scoop. I expected it to have at least a bit of a smell, but it was surprisingly odorless. Huh. How's that work? How's that work out? What? I'm confused. There's even a roll of toilet paper on the side. I see. It looks nice. No flushing system, but it was hygienic. Mychael must have done his research. So what, do we like pee and then scoop out some dirt and like put it down in there? I'm wondering. I'm just wondering. I'm asking questions. I don't want to leave a mess. I don't want to leave a mess. Walking over to the sink, I started the faucet before hesitantly twisting it. I jumped when I heard a rush of water pouring in, swirling in the basin before disappearing in who knows where. Maybe it's recycled. Wow. Why am I impressed by a damn functioning bathroom sink? Because we're in the middle of nowhere. We don't know how all this stuff is working. I helped with the dishes last night. I already knew he had plumbing. Shaking my head, I freshened up and headed to the kitchen. My character's a trip. Mychael looked up as I entered, steaming kettle in his hand with 2 empty mugs on the counter. You know what? I'm going to enjoy some tea with you guys. Might have been the lighting, but he was taller than I remembered. Especially after reading so much. Glancing to the table, I could see he had already finished plating our food. I'm sorry, I apologize. Oh, wow. You work fast. Mychael looked proud of himself. Look, he's so cute. Oh, he does. He looks so cute. That's adorable. Hold on. I gotta figure out how to take a screenshot. I gotta figure out how to take screenshots so I can take screenshots of the games when I'm playing them. I did not do that. That's the one thing I did not look up. I can't have my guests stay on an empty stomach. Go on, have a seat. He looks so cute. Oh my god, look at me, so happy. His energy, I love it. I'll join you in a moment. I returned his smile and sat down, stomach grumbling as I looked over our plates. Once again, oh my god, that looks so good. It looks like what I had tonight. Generous serving sizes. Fat slices of bread were toasted perfectly at crisp, buttery sides. Bright red tomato slices and crisp salad peeking underneath the fluffy egg. Oh my god, that sounds so good. It looked amazingly tantalizing. Smell savoring herbs wafting into my nose. My mouth watered. Mychael sat down with steaming mugs beside me before sitting into his own seat. Look at his tail. Peeking above the rim, I could see small flowers floating about, tinting the water yellow. Faintly smelled of apples. Oh, I recognized the yellow dried petals on the tea packages I've seen before. Oh, chamomile. He nodded. I hope you like it. I'm sure I will. His smile widened, his tail swayed at the tip of his feet. He seemed more relaxed, showing his natural features this morning. Any trace of panic and hesitation from last night were gone, replaced by a look of contentment. Mychael bit into his toast, and I followed suit. The food was delicious as I expected. A chunk of toast I bit into was heavenly, the butter sweet on my tongue. The tomato and salad provided a nice crisp balance. And the eggs. You guys, let me tell you about the eggs. Something about simple home-cooked food is just the best. I was happy to eat in silence, occasionally looking at me as I enjoyed my food. He smiled when our eyes met, the bottom pair narrowing into a happy squint. Oh, I wonder if he'd be open to some questions. Hey, you mind if I ask, how'd you learn to cook? How do you have plumbing in your house? What's it like living in the woods? I still can't believe how cozy you've managed to make it, considering the whole in the middle of nowhere thing. It wasn't like this when I found it, no? It was a major, fixer-upper. So the cabin was abandoned. I never would have guessed. Yeah, I'm really happy to get somewhere to live, permanently for once. Not much, but it's home. What's it like? Peaceful, quiet. I do like it a lot. Forest provides me with everything I need. And nobody bothers me for the way I look out here. I feel that. I'd live in the woods too. His ears twitched slightly. Sometimes you just happen to end up where it's most convenient for you and everyone else. The way he avoided my eyes, he said that gave me the impression that something more to it. Like his home wasn't just out of convenience, but a fear of something else. Rejection, perhaps, or something worse. Anyways, don't recall having anything else to say about it unless there's something specific you want to ask. He doesn't think about his answer much before beaming at me. What about you? I know you told me a little bit about yourself, but what's it like being you? I scuffed, waving a hand. Please, I'm the least interesting person in this room, trust me. His eyes were shining with earnest as he leaned forward. Tell me anyway. Oh, well. I told him about my life, at least parts I was comfortable with sharing. Just like last night, his eyes didn't leave my face, occasionally drifting about my features and interests. The direct ogling was making me feel nervous, but I suppose I was doing this exact same thing when it was his turn to talk. Eventually, I came to the topic of my job and the woes of living in the modern capitalism. I'm a bit jealous. You have whole cottage, core aesthetics, perfect, or practically perfect. His face morphed into a confused pout. Cottage core? I explained it in my own words. Oh, you're saying you want to live the way I do, out in the woods? I nodded without hesitation. I mean, I wouldn't mind showing you the ropes. His tone seemed strangely lit. What do you mean? Never mind. Anyways, I don't get what the appeal is, but it's not easy either, you know. The force provides, but it's up for me to make use of it. Yeah, for real, that meat you got, you probably had to go hunting for it. Starting out was a dark look crossed over his face then, as if reliving a bitter memory. Rough. But I'm built for survival. I feel like asking him to elaborate would make things awkward. I decided to veer the topic to a different direction. Doesn't it get lonely? Sometimes. But I'm used to it. He smiled, his eyes lighting up. Besides, I have you at the moment, don't I? I never thought I'd enjoy having someone around. It must be really special. How does the plumbing in your house work? I know it's a silly question, but I can't stop thinking about it. Oh? You're wondering about that? I have a feeling I'm going to be able to ask him all these questions. If not, I'll be upset, because I want to ask him how he could. This embarrassing look on my face is probably enough for the answer. Aw. Well, it's nothing fascinating. Just rainwater I used to store above the cabin. Oh, just rainwater? Huh. I detected a hint of pride as he continued. Actually, recently installment, believe it or not. Guarantee the project took a while. Gathering materials, figuring out the tools, finding the right instruction manuals. Plus, I had to figure out where to store the water tank. Don't worry. I installed a filtration system, so it's safe for us to use. I check in every few weeks to make sure nothing's contaminated. It sounds daunting, especially considering he lived all the way out here in the woods. You did all that on your own? Kinda had to. Anyway, it took a whole lot of collaborating and adjusting, but it really worked out. And now that I think about it, I'm glad you get to be comfortable here during your stay too. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Where'd you learn how to do all that? But just, yeah. How'd you learn to cook? Cottage pie was a pretty complicated recipe. I just wonder if anyone taught you how to cook. I'd be lucky if someone could teach me how to make boiled eggs forever. Boiled eggs? All you have to do is boil some water, bro. But it was trial and error mostly. My early endeavors were pretty much inedible. I picked up a thing or two about cooking though. So your taste buds aren't gonna fall victim to nasty creations in my earlier days at least. Speaking of, did you enjoy dinner last night? I loved it! Of course I did! You're a really good cook, Mychael. I'm glad. It probably wasn't obvious, but I'm really happy I got to cook for you. Oh, look at his blush. He's so cute. Don't get guests often in case you can't tell. I should ask you to cook for me every day then. He grinned at my joke, looking pleased. I'd be happy to. I chuckled, took another bite. So what's your favorite thing to cook? He lit up at the question. Fried mushrooms. Oh my god, fried mushrooms. Yeah, there's plenty to find. It's easy to make. Huh, I do remember finding a patch of mushrooms yesterday. They smell pretty funky though. You remember that? What was that? Nothing. Anyways, mushrooms were the only thing I had for a while before figuring out I could eat other stuff like roots and vegetables. You can eat roots? How do you eat your roots? I want to know. Can you make me some roots? Do you forage all your ingredients? Mostly. Times I figured out how to catch fish and hunt game were the best of my life, I'd tell you that. My first taste of meat. He he did an awkward version of the chef's kiss, as if mimicking something he saw on television once. Mwah. The beautiful. Mwah. Is he trying to say Mamma Mia? Continue before I can even dwell on the fact for a second. But nothing beats what you humans are able to make. You guys go nuts with ingredients. Rice was a challenge. Fresh ingredients, since I had to actually get some from the store. But once I figured out how to make it nice and fluffy, I considered it a special treat. I did a double take. You go to the store? Yeah. Where else would I get it? I figured you grow that shit. I mean, they grow maybe not. I thought you would grow it. I didn't even read it. I was just saying. I thought you would have grown it or something. Yeah. I literally said the same thing to fucking I said the same thing she said. I laughed as I flushed with embarrassment. I'm flattered you think I'm even capable of something that impressive, but no. There's only so much force can provide. What about money? We talk about human currency, right? Otherwise, how would you even... You actually have a job? Thought occurred to me. Or did you steal it? He almost looked offended. You take me for a criminal? No. But that would mean, then how? I go bit to his toes, his eyes blinking in mischief. I have my ways, Firefly. What's that supposed to mean? Starting to know a lot more about Mychael. He didn't directly say it, but it felt like he was a loner. Lonelier than he was letting on. Yeah. Not to mention how he managed to make a home for himself and all his own. Yeah. I had to wonder if he had anyone at all. Do you have a family around? Family? The hell's that? His expression turned solemn for a moment before he looked sheepish. Remind me how that works again? I get the concept based on some books I read. I don't have what you call parents, if that's what you're asking. What? No parents? He shrugged, took another bite of his toast. Not that I recall. Then how did you... What's it like living with so many people like you are so close with from... in such a close proximity? Huh? That's how it works, right? You and other humans live in one house? And you have this, deny thing that makes you related to the rest? DNA? That's what he was saying, okay. That's what makes a family, right? He's talking about DNA. It just threw me off. But I had to answer somehow. Not just that. Family is people you're related to, like your mom and your dad and your siblings and relatives. People that you love and care about. Who love and care about you too. Actually, I guess they're just people you live in close proximity, whether you choice or not. I like this one. Family are people you care about and love. You know, you don't have to have family that's just blood. You could always, make friends and they could be family too. I mean, hey, listen, intrigue. That's so. That sounds nice. Is there anyone that you love and care about? Yeah, I love my friends. Of course I do. I have a family. I love my friends. Your friends can be considered family too? Yeah. I don't see why they have to be related to be family. I'm even consider my cat family. Oh. Is this the same for all families? I've been my lip pondering the question. That would be naive to think. A lot of families do love to take care of one another, but not everything's perfect. Sometimes that love can be misplaced or taken advantage of or even abused. Yeah. He looked thoughtful. So it starts with love? I've read some stories about that. Love, I mean. So certain feelings don't make sense to me. At least from a reader's perspective. I guess you'd have to experience for yourself to understand. He stared at me unblinkingly for a moment. Yeah, you might be right. Never considered that. Then again, who would have bothered loving a monster like me anyway? No! What? You're not a monster! Don't say that! No! Don't say that! I look like one, don't I? No! You look like a nice little guy. You look like a nice baby. No, don't say that. You're gonna upset me. He's been nothing but nice. Don't say you're a monster. Hurt my feelings. That's besides the point. You're not denying it, though. I'm just saying, it's okay. You don't have to lie to me. So, family. Right. To be fair, everyone's definition of family could be different. What about you? What's your definition of family? He looked surprised I asked him that question. I don't know. Never had one. I think your answer is just confusing me more. Well, if you ever figure it out, let me know. He started to remain. He stared at the remaining crumbs on his plate before nodding, avoiding my gaze. Sure. We both fell quiet in a low conversation, blinking us in a comfort silence. Is it comfortable? Kind of looked awkward. All this family talk here reminded me of the reason I'm out here in the first place. Look for my beloved cat. A sight I may never see again. I couldn't help the sinking feel in my chest, the growing pit in my stomach. I wish I was able to find a wee baby. You would have loved him. He opened his mouth to say something, but changed his mind, a voice horrible, lumping forming in my throat. Sorry, I just missed you so much. I keep thinking if I just went looking for him sooner, maybe I would have been able to find him by now. He was quick to speak up. You did your best, Firefly. No one else could have gone through the lengths you did. You almost risked getting yourself. I'm sure, wherever he is, he's doing okay. Something tells me my cat's dead. You really think so? I know so. His voice was laced with confidence, assurance, despite the worried look on his face. I nodded, quite stiff. I hope so. He's just important to me, is all. He looked like he wanted to reach across the table for me, but signed instead. Actually, I'm sorry, Savvy. I should tell you. Maybe I do have family now that I think about it. That was the surprise I mentioned before. Wait, really? He nodded. Are you done? I could take you to meet them right now. I looked down at my plate. During the conversation, I didn't realize I had finished my meal. Yeah, I'm done. His movements were quick, with stacked and complete. Our empty dishes and mugs, and set them in the sink. He grasped my hand before I could say another word, pulling me up and headed out into the outside in tow. As the door swung open, I could see the forest ahead before he tugged me along as he rounded the side of the cabin. What are you showing me? Almost immediately, my peripherals were assaulted with the greens on both sides. Woo! The cabbages! He's grown a lot of stuff. Look at that. I figured he was the type that grows on vegetables, but to see it in a person and to confirm it was a whole different thing. With Mychael leading the way, I had a moment to take in the surrounding garden. He had marked different plots with messy drawings on small wooden signs jutting out of the dirt. Carrots, lettuce, tomatoes, and beans. Ooh, look at the beans. I wouldn't have been able to differentiate one plant from another without the signs. Even the chamomile for our tea, now growing abruptly close by, the small buds swaying gently. I thumped into Mychael as he suddenly stopped, and looking over the shoulder to beam at me. We reached what looked like a fenced-off area, with a bit of netting stretching around it. He stepped aside, watching me with wide eyes. Oh, look at the chickens! 3 fat little happy hens strutted about as they own the place. Oh my God, look at them! They're so cute! As he entered through the gate, the hens swarmed over in an instant at Mychael's feet, circling him and pecking at his boots. Ladies, meet Savvy. These are Mara, Suzanne, and Primrose. I can't fucking say their names. I'm sorry. I apologize. Or that's what I like to call them. I'm not saying it. Oh, look at the little chicken. She's so cute. He had a lot of stuff. He ducked to pick one up, fluffing her feathers as he smiled. He gently scratched the hen's little head, and I assumed was Rosie. Aww. She practically melted at his pampering, eyes sliding shut. The other 2 flapped their wings in a huff, went about their business once more. Mychael leaned closer, beckoning me to pet Rosie. She's so soft. Rosie's the oldest. She doesn't lay eggs anymore, but I couldn't bring myself to, you know. So I brought her some friends. Mare came first. Sunny's more, recent addition. What do you think? Do we make a good family? Aww! I laughed and nodded, reaching as Rosie nuzzled into Michael's chest. I didn't expect chickens of all things. Were you expecting something else? I was expecting to be someone else. Oh. No. When you look at me, people generally don't stick around. There's a negative self-confidence. You don't even look that bad. I speak in mind, with a pleasant surprise crossing his face. You really think so? Yeah. Can't be that naive, Firefly. I mean it! He let a polite scoff. He scratched Rosie's head absently. He genuinely believed people wouldn't run away at the sight of me. Well, I didn't. His smile turned smug, corner of his lips, lifting just a bit. Of course you didn't. Because you couldn't. Yeah, I was kind of paralyzed. Shoot, he wasn't wrong. I was pretty much paralyzed in this bed when we first met. But I still didn't think you looked that bad. Is that so? Describe me then. What? You heard me. Look at me and describe what you see. For a second, I thought he was being condescending, but looking at his eyes, I could see a bit of playfulness. He looked at me, expecting his eyes shining. You're tall? Go on. You have blonde hair. He gave him a confused squint, his left ear twitching. What else? You have green skin and a tail. He chuckled, but there was no malice to it. But that's not all, is it? Definitely expecting me to say it straight. Oh, fine! You don't look human! So what? He hummed absently. As I was saying, animals don't generally... Oh, no, I'm sorry, my dear, that sucks. As I was saying, animals generally don't care if you look like a monster. My heart twisted at his words. Past the nonchalant somehow makes it even worse. Mychael, you're not a The tug on my shoelace caught my attention. Light brown head stood at my foot. Look at my Converse, y'all! Hell yeah, I wear Converses and pants. Look at that. Her beady eyes shining up. Oh, she's so cute! Sunny flapped her wings almost expectantly. Come here, Sunny. Oh, I think she likes you. Come here, Sunny. You look so cute. Go ahead, pick her up gently, like how I did with Rosie. I hesitantly but slowly lowered myself, cupped Sunny by her wings. Lifting her up, she was quick to nestle herself until she was comfortable, tucked underneath my arms. I could feel her wings wiggling as she nuzzled into my side. So cute! Freaking out over a damn chicken. Michael's gaze softened as I cooed at the chicken, mimicking her small clicks. So, did it help? Cheering you up, I mean. Oh! So that's what this was. Fuzzy feeling bloomed in my chest as he looked at me, the chicken in his arms, and a concern on his face. A little bit, yeah. Only a little? No, it cheered me up a lot. I snickered, rolling my eyes. Okay, mister, a lot. That's more like it. His proud grin was infectious. I couldn't help smiling back. We spent a bit more time with the hens, petting them until they were satisfied. Mychael even showed me the spot where they like to have their dust baths. Little chicken-shaped holes scattered about the dry soil underneath the coop. You know, I did not know that chickens had dust baths. That's a surprise to me. I learned something new. Look at that. Once the guys had enough of us, we refilled their water container before leaving. He left them some treats, procuring them straight out of his pocket before shutting the gate. The girls' excited chatter over the food faded as we made our way back inside his cabin. I sat by his bed, crouched down beside the fireplace. From the window, I could see the sun outside getting higher. It might be close to afternoon now. Hey, Mychael? He looked at me for a moment from where he was stroking the fire. I rubbed my arms, not sure where to place my gaze. I think it's a good time for me to go now. I didn't. My expression fell, and I caught myself quickly. He's done his best to cheer me up. It'd be inconsiderate towards him to leave in a bad mood. I might have to accept that I'll never see wee baby again. No! I think it's better if I focus on moving on. He's quiet for a moment, his hands in his pocket. If you say so. Wait, you don't have to leave just yet. Still got plenty of day left, and there's some place I want to show you. Won't you come with me? I head to the side. Oh, wait, hold on. I couldn't decide. I promise I'll take you home right after. He took another step closer to me. Please, Firefly? I didn't want to say it, but he looked desperate. Okay. I'll go with you. Yay! The joy on his face was surprisingly bright as a billboard. Great! Let me get our stuff! I disappeared into the kitchen, returning with my backpack in one hand, a satchel in the other. He passed it to me as we walked by towards the front door. Almost forgot I had this. Ruffling through my bag, I found my cat treat, sweet baby's collar, a broken compass, and my phone! Oh, look, she's got a little cat toy on it. The battery was dead, though. Still, one last thing I had to worry about. I checked through my bag once more, finding an empty water bottle. I frowned, instantly remember how I forgot to pack water for my trip. Or at least, Mychael told me I did. Did I? You ready? I looked at Mychael staring when I spotted a large crossbow in his hand. Whoa, look at you! Ready to go! Followed my gaze and shrugged. Absolutely a nervous smile. He had been caught doing something he shouldn't. Quickly strapped the weapon to his back and out of sight. Don't worry, I'm not going to use it unless necessary. I would hope not. He chuckled at my tone. Think I'm going to let you out of the woods without guaranteeing your safety? I made a promise to get you home, so just an extra precaution. Don't think a bit much. Better safe than sorry, Firefly. He had a point. If anyone knew these woods and the kind of danger it held, it'd be Mychael. Glanced over at him again, noticing his change of oversized cardigan for something more outdoor appropriate. I like the cardigan better. Yeah. But yeah, the jacket's nice. His eyes tracked mine, his shoulders stiffening as a tint spread across his face. So, shall we? He opened the door and waved me out. I stepped outside and glanced around his front yard. The landscape wasn't anything special. It was quite plain, just thick of trees and foliage, full of foliage. The only path of dirt and flattened grass cued me routes Mychael had would use when he comes and goes, webbing in all directions trailing the front door. Come to think of it, anyone passing through would be able to spot Mychael's house if they squinted through the trees careful enough. I guess he was right about no one walked through this area in years. I heard a lock turn before Mychael joined me by my side. He smiled wide before tipping his head in the direction to make sure I was behind him before he started walking. I was hesitant, but followed suit. It was quiet and we traveled, except for the sound of nature calling out around us. The weather was bright and warm, sun casting pretty rays through the gaps in the trees. I had to admit, enjoyable as it was, the bird calls, rustling of leaves as we walked somewhat brought bad memories. Yesterday was miserable. I was lost, tired, hungry. There was a chance I wasn't going to make it out alive. I watched Mychael's back as he led the way. Man barely paying any mind to his surroundings. His ear would occasionally flick back in my direction, but overall, he just seemed confident to know where he was going. Having Mychael as my guide home was definitely a great assurance. It made me even more grateful he had found me when he did. I sighed, shook off the negative feelings, keeping pace while appreciating the fresh air. I stepped back next to my companion, willing my voice to speak after plenty of silence. It was actually kind of nice. A good old nature walk. I coughed into my fist, feeling embarrassed. I don't go outside as often as I should. Mychael smiled kindly. I'm glad I get to bring you then. Yeah, it feels different when you know where you're going. Actually, where are we going? He sensed my nervous and laughed. Don't worry. We're almost there. Looked up and saw it before he even pointed it out. Clearing in the distance. The trees growing strangely sprout in the area. Look at the flowers! I held my breath as the grass slowly started to dot with flowers. Delicate blooms swayed here and there in the breeze. Like a clear, Mychael watched me as my mouth dropped open, knowing a twinkle in his eye. It was breathtaking. Oh, wow! Look at that! It's so pretty! And the butterflies! The secluded little meadow with flowers lit up a beam of light, making the scenery resemble a page from a forgotten fairy tale. Butterflies flittered about in pairs, their wings flickering and complementing the surreal yet enchanting ambiance of the whole place. Mychael let me go some more before walking ahead, turning to face me before sitting down and relaxed on the grass. He flipped off his satchel and laid it in the grass and sidled along with his crossbow. I blinked the spur and approached him. spinning around to drink in everything in before plopping myself down next to him. So what do you think? Pretty, isn't it? Aw. I nodded dumbly before finally glancing the face, and the man's gaze on me, softening as our eyes met. Butterfly approached us rapidly, making me flinch on instinct. Aw, he's so at peace here. It's cute. It landed on his finger as he held it out, wings flapping gently. He smiled at the dainty creature, a fond look in his eyes before he held it out towards me. You like butterflies, Savvy? I love butterflies. I'm scared of them, actually. I love butterflies. I do. I think they're very pretty. This is amazing, Mychael. The usually prideful smirk was absent, replaced with instead a shy smile. I'm glad you like it. The sun was at its peak now, the air getting warmer as minutes passed. The leafy canopy over us provided enough coverage for us not to overheat. Mychael picked a flower of his other hand and placed it in my palms, his tail looping loosely around us, both my cheeks darkened. His eyes leaning back further, the butterfly still resting on his hand. My ears caught a soft rumbling before I realized it was coming from his direction. I almost wanted to ask, but I didn't want to ruin the moment. My gaze dropped as I twirled the flower in my hand, holding the stem delicately. The gesture felt platonic, but also romantic. I wondered if Mychael was even interested in a relationship. He had been alone for most of his life. He'd probably get tired of my presence sooner or later. Before I could contend further, the butterfly in Michael's his finger took off. My gaze ran after it as it left the sunlight and flew away into the woods. Which reminds me, Mychael, don't get me wrong, this place is stunning. But is it okay if we go now? He straightened from his relaxed slouch. Why? We just got here. I chewed on my lip hesitantly. I love it here. I do. But I want to go home, Mychael. Mychael studied my face. Savvy. You want to leave me that badly? What? No! I need time to recover from losing wee baby. I know it's silly and dramatic, but knowing he won't be there when I get home, I trailed off another shot of guilt and regret filling my chest. I just need to get it done with. I feel a hand rubbing my back. Mychael nodded slowly, making me looking me in the eyes. He smiled with gentle, it's okay. I understand. But maybe this place can help with that. Nice spot to nap in, isn't it? I picked it out just for you. Why don't you go ahead and lay down? His words made you sway. Someone about of sleep weighed heavily on your eyelids. He was right. Is he hypnotizing me? It was a nice spot to nap in. Why are you in such a hurry? You yawned, leg back, stretching out on the grass. Warmth from the ground swept through your clothes, luring you into a sense of comfort and safety. There you go. Just spend some time with me. Just a little bit more, please. Oh, here's something else I could show you. He reached into his satchel, pulled out a wooden box called a columba. Columba. What? I don't know. He blinked slowly, clarity coming back as I shook my head to pay attention. The box fit neatly in his hand, like holding it as if he were typing on a phone. I could see it had a hole in the middle with thin straps of metal arranged in a triangular shape over it. The columba? Is that how you say it? What does it do? Proud smirk spread across his face. I'll show you. He began to pluck metal prongs, a gentle ringing sound, resonating with every flick of his thumb. I'm sorry, I'm listening. I'm listening to his music. I couldn't recognize the song. Maybe he might have made it up himself? I closed my eyes, enjoying the tune. I gave a soft chuckle as he kept playing. Relax and listen to the song if you like, Firefly. A few minutes had passed, Mychael plugging away at the instrument, two of us sunbathing like two cats on a Sunday afternoon. I must have dozed off. Next thing I knew, I felt a nudge on my shoulder. Comfy? They tried to low when I refused to open my eyes. I mean, if you'd rather stay. My eyes shut open, my whole body jerked to sit up. Mychael glanced at me, his Colombe in his lap, half a forget-me-not chain in his hands. What? I shook my head, slapping my cheeks. I can't believe I fell asleep. I still need to. It's all right. He cut me off. He's fine. His sign was heavy. I was hoping. Never mind. He patted my shoulder. Thought his smile didn't reach his eyes. Thanks for being here with me. Maybe we can do this again sometime. If I ever see you again. Let's get you home. Why don't you just stay with Mychael? I mean, it's pretty nice life, man. Sounds pretty nice. He rolled over onto his feet, stood up, brushing off the dirt and sticks in his satchel. Come on. We gathered our things and set off into the unknown once more. Well, unknown to me at least. Mychael seemed to have this map of the place ingrained in his brain. He seemed a bit sleepy still. So let's freshen up, okay? Walked a bit further away, the clearing coming across the river. Compared to the rest of the path we walked, the area was shaded considerably with a thick canopy of leaves over us. Water flow looked inviting as I knelt down by the bank. Mychael idly close by. I dipped my hands in, eager to wash my face. The water was refreshing and cooled my heated skin in the afternoon sun. I put my hands back to see Mychael peeking over my shoulder into the reflection, smiling in a faraway look on his face. He startled as our gaze met. Iris was darting away to look at himself instead. Immediately, his expression changed. His ears flattened a grimace twist. His filled features and lips curled back. Aww. I'd never seen such content in his eyes as I did then, staring at his own reflection. Aww. The poor thing. He don't like looking at a reflection. He's been told he's ugly for so long that he believes that he's ugly. That's sad. He stepped away, retreating underneath the cover of the tree, to lean against it with crossed arms. He doesn't notice me watching. I patted my hands dry on my shirt and approached him. You ready? Yeah. I stopped before him before he could turn to leave. He looked at me with a questioning look, tipping his head. I hesitated. I wasn't the type to speak my mind directly. Most of the time, I keep things to myself or let things go by. But nobody should look at themselves and have that sort of reaction. Hey, you know you're not a... Might as well be frank. You're not a monster, Mychael. He looked taken back. What makes you say that? I saw how you were looking at yourself. How you talk about yourself. None of it's true. I keep telling you you're more than just your appearance. I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I did it anyway. I reached for his hand and held them between us. His eyes widened at the contact. All it took was a day with you. Truthfully, I think you're the most amazing person I've ever met. He made a choked noise. I'm just some old nobody compared to you. That's not... Shut up and listen. He promptly shut his mouth out of a click of his teeth. From where I stand, you saved my life, taking care of me better than I could have ever asked for from a stranger. That already proves to me that you're not a monster you think you are. You're charming, you're smart, you're sweet. I'm gonna make you fall in love with me because I'm talking to you like this, but it's okay. You're a million more wonderful things, but you're not a monster. I take a second to compose myself, lowering my voice. You may look different, Mychael, but guess what? His multiple eyes stared into mine, ears flattened, as if fearing the worst. That makes you all more beautiful to me. Aww, his breath hitched. I could feel his hands squeezing mine, fingers trembling. It was like he forgot how to breathe. I realized my hands were getting sweaty. I pulled away hesitantly, scratching my neck to avoid his eyes, his gaze. I could feel the blood rushing to my face. I could dunk my whole head in a river and probably let it steam off. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. It just didn't feel right if I didn't say anything. I hope you understand. Awkward silence passed between the two of us. Anyways, I caught him mumbling under his breath. I can't let you leave. What? I said I can't let you leave. I mean, not without your cat, right? I frowned. I'm already trying, Mychael. Like you said, it was stupid for me to just wander off into the woods as if I'd find him through dumb luck. He paused, his fist clenched. But I haven't. Huh? I haven't tried. Well, these woods better than anyone. I can try looking for him. But that means you can't leave yet. Michael, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think I should stick around any longer. I have a job and responsibilities, and you hissed in pain, a sudden migraine overcoming your senses. Whoa, bro. You felt sick, your stomach wriggling itself in a knot. Felt like the world was wrapping around you as your legs wobbled. Your body buckled over as you resisted the urge to vomit. Oh, God! Mark caught you as you slumped gracelessly to the ground, your head resting on his shoulder as he cradled you close. Hey, you don't look so good. Your vision doubled as he spoke, his speech oozing together, words to increase with mist. Are you okay? You need me to carry you home? Yes, please. Okay, no problem. Just hang in there. Hang on to me. Oh, he's totally like hypnotizing us or something. Just so we stay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. If I could just one more day with you, you'll be the happiest man alive. Here we are. Let's get you tucked in. I should give you some clothes, especially since you've been staying over the night. You're okay with that, aren't you? You're gonna change my clothes? Michael. I blinked groggily awake. Gentle sounds of the crackling fire. Its texture of the warm bed sheets, the weight of a heavy knitted blanket. I could recall once or twice having felt these very sensations to the point I considered them familiar and comforting, and yet, whoa, nothing could compare me to the bright yellow eyes peering into me, or into mine. Ah! Oh, you hit him? Oh my God! She hit him! No! My knuckles hit him square in the face. Michael yelped, nose scrunching as the taller man stumbled backwards into the stool. He landed on his rear with the grace of a clumsy toddler on the floor. I sat up in a panic, immediately grimaced, landing back on the bed with unceremonious slop. It hit me with one swoop on my body. My whole body was aching. Every single one of my limbs felt like they were gone through a wringer and came out the other side all crinkled and wrong. I groaned loudly, leaning my head back onto the pillow. Michael shifted back onto his feet, rubbing his nose. Savvy! His voice was awkward and croaked before he cleared his throat. I'm glad you're awake. How are you feeling? Terrible. He visibly flinched. I'm sorry to hear that. That close to the bed, leaning over wearily encased my hand dramatically, whipped out again in self-defense. When my hands fell to my lap, he deemed it safe enough to sit beside me. What happened, Michael? You don't remember? I shook my head, wincing a bit as my head pounded. Not at all. He hesitated. You tripped and hit your head, and I had to carry you home. His words almost slurred together as he fidgeted. My head? Well, I lifted my head to feel for bumps and bruises, but he hesitantly snatched my wrist. Don't worry about that. Here, have this. It'll help. He gave me a familiar-looking drink as he quickly pressed the cup into my hands. Sitting up with some comfort, take a sip, I couldn't help the small sense of deja vu. The amount of times I'd woken up in his bed dazed and disorientated, almost uncomfortable now. At least the drink was helping, just like he promised. My body felt lighter as I finished. Michael took the cup from me and set it aside before wringing his hands together with a nervousness I hadn't seen in a while. So, I'm sorry this happened. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. I signed aside his worry with an embarrassed grumble. It wouldn't be the first time I tripped, if you could believe it. It's not your fault. He gave a soft chuckle, but it sounded guilty. I suppose you're right. It's just he slid like he had to me and thoughts running through his head. I promised I didn't. I said I was going to look out for you. I said I was going to keep you safe. Instead, I made you hurt. His voice cracked. I'm so sorry, Savvy. The sudden change in demeanor was startling, to say the least. You couldn't have predicted it was going to happen. And I'm fine, see? Oh, Firefly. I guess you're right. His expression carried a linger of doubt, but he quickly masked it with a small smile, eyes dim. In that case you'll be staying? They said it almost sounded like a decision that had already been made. For a plea. What? What do you mean? His eyes darted aside. You agreed to let me find wee baby, remember? Did I say that? Yeah. So, you'll be staying a little longer, right? Um, he didn't even let me get a word in. In fact, the feeling of uncertainty washed over me as if we've had this conversation before. I don't think. Besides, what's the rush? It's already late and you're in no condition to travel anyway. I blinked before glancing out the window. Pitch black darkness greeted me as I realized he was right. Yet another uncanny feeling spread through my chest, shivers crawling down my spine. I don't know why, but something about this whole situation felt wrong. Felt like I'm forgetting something else. Michael had a nervous look on his face. Maybe you hit your head harder than I thought. His words didn't sound confident. How long was I out? A couple of hours, I think. You really took a hit. It was that bad? My brows creased as I tried to recall today's events, but I don't remember tripping. There was a river. I remember you, and then, my memory must be fuzzy, or for good reason, and for good reason. My stomach suddenly rumbled, echoing into the quiet room. There was a heavy silence right after. Michael was polite enough to hide his chuckle under his palm as I flushed. He seemed relieved. Well, like a few, I've gotten dinner on the way. It should be ready soon. You're okay with soup, right? Soup? Soup sounds alright. My stomach growled once more, the pain of empty gut making me wince a bit. My host noticed immediately. Oh, maybe we should get you some food sooner than later. You feel okay enough to get up? I nodded with a grumble, swinging my legs over the side of the bed, before noticing something was on my lap. Wait, what's this? I unbundled the pile of thick fabric, realizing it was an oversized sweater and a pair of baggy sweatpants. Oh, look at the sweater! It's so cute! Oh, I love it! Is this mine? Can I have it? Mushroom pattern? It's oddly cute! Oddly cute? What? It is cute! The material felt worn, but comfortable. The towel laid right next to them. Is this for me? Oh. I figured since you'd be staying another night, you'd want some fresh clothes. That might be a few sizes bigger. Or a lot. Sorry. He'd gotten shy for some reason. On the other hand, I didn't have to take a whiff at myself to know that I probably reached. I nodded again, giving him a small but graceful nod. They're fine, Michael. Thank you. Yet another thing I had to owe him. I couldn't help feeling like I was taking advantage of his kindness now. So, you know where the bathroom is. Take your time cleaning up. I'll be in the kitchen if you need anything. I'm really happy you're here. Aww. Stood there for a good few seconds, fidgeting with his own hand, as if he wanted to say more before finally heading to the kitchen. Watched his back retreat before lifting myself up and head to the bathroom. Now that I was alone, I had a moment to gather my thoughts. The nagging feeling was back, a prickling feeling across my skin, raising goosebumps as if to tell me I shouldn't be here. Just couldn't place my finger on what. I was probably just being paranoid. I'm probably just being, you know what? I know he's probably like hypnotizing me, but I'm just gonna act stupid. I was probably being paranoid. Then again, it's been a while since I've showered, so I could chalk it up to dirt accumulation on me and making me itch in places I don't want to think about. After undressing, I folded my clothes to place them in my backpack later before turning on the shower. Water was ice cold! I kept cleaning myself as fast as I could using some scentless soap at the side of the tub. Dressing myself again, I wrung out my hair the best I could before drying it with a towel. Putting on my clothes Michael provided, I felt like I had shrunken in size. I adjusted the sleeves and the waistband to my liking with some struggle, just so my hands and feet could poke out of the holes comfortably. I couldn't help but notice the way his clothes smelled of fresh-cut grass with a smoky hint of woodsy bonfire. The scent reminded me of camping in the summer. Persistent doubt aside, I definitely felt way better compared to when I woke up. Stepping out, I could smell something good coming from the kitchen. A gentle humming greeted me as I came through the doorway. Michael was idly stirring a pot by the stove, looking at me as I entered the kitchen. Whatever he had in that pot made my stomach grumble yet again. His ears flickered as he registered the clothes I was wearing. Oh, how do they fit? I shrugged. They're definitely bigger on me. He nodded, turning back to the pot. I can see that. Wasn't sure what you normally wear, so I went with whatever I had. That was, he shrugged the pickle word, Oasis? I gave a hum of agreement, filling with him of his sweater. Flirt or goof around? Oh God, let's flirt with him. Let's flirt with him. Was I really about to do this? I guess I was. With the confidence of the courting peacock, with nothing to lose, I leaned against the doorway, making sure to prop my hip to the right angle against the edge. I think I look good in your clothes. Maybe I should wear them more often. With how baggy the clothes were on me, I probably look closer to a little bag of potatoes more than a human being. He must have sensed something was different about my tone as he gave a confused chuckle, his tail noticeably swishing side to side. I guess you could. He doesn't understand the flirt. Well, I'm pretty sure most of them won't fit, right? Unteared, I continued on. I could help find something more comfortable than the smoothest wink I could master. Oh, wink. Nailed it. He seemed to consider my offer. Thought I found the right outfit, but you can look through the closet for something you like now that you're awake. You have something in your eye? He doesn't understand. She's flirting with him. I straightened stiffly. I'm just trying something, I guess. Trying what? Never mind. Oh. What's cooking? Good looking? I can't stop the odds his cheeks actually begin to color, his hands stirring the pot flattened for a brief second. What? Wait, this might actually work. I boosted my efforts, leaning forward with another smile. You heard me. You said, hesitant to repeat it. Well, maybe you should get your eyes checked. Yeah, this was a terrible idea. I cleared my throat awkwardly. Thank you for the close. He must have sensed something wrong again as he quickly tried to salvage whatever the hell was going on. For what it's worth, you look very... Whatever it was he said, it sounded like several clickings of his tongue, but with vowels somehow. What? He huffed his tail, swishing to his side like a metarome. It means... He trailed off. I guess in your language it would mean, cute. Well, I believe you're too. I'm flattered as he fidgeted. We stared at each other. Actually, I might actually have a chance. The color of his face was closer to the blueberry the longer I looked at him. There was an awkward tension before I broke it with a nervous laugh. Cute. In fact, I can swear I hear him whimpering in panic. Aww! The situation was so absurd that I had to laugh harder. Was that so hard to say? He stuttered. I didn't think you'd be comfortable with me saying it. Why not? Well, what do I know? I was teasing and he picked up on that quickly. His nervousness displaying. He gave a sharp puff. His hand stirred the pot faster. Well, I thought you cute. Not a big deal. Then why is your face so blue like it is? He made another choking noise, his eyes darting about. It's just the heat from the stove. I'm cooking my best here. I was making this terrible excuse. You're a bad liar. But it's true. The stovetops don't do that. Mine does. A clearing contest ensured before we ended the outburst into a fit of giggles, my face warming at the silly banter. The kettle started whistling, then cutting through our moment short. He seemed disappointed by the shift in the atmosphere, but quickly moved to pick it up. Why don't you take a seat, Firefly? I'll be right with you. He was already turning his back towards me to start preparing the tea. I slowly approached him. Hey, let me help this time. I got startled, surprised to see me beside him. Oh, sure. Did you get me some bowls ready? We're having tomato soup. Do you want some grilled cheese with that? With yours? I could prepare a garlic bread. Ooh, I want grilled cheese. Grilled cheese, please. Got it. I brushed past him, feeling his tail linger by my ankle as I grabbed the bowls and spoons from the bottom shelf. Started preparing the sides, the smell of toast and bread filling the air in the kitchen and mingling with the soups. I took over preparing the tea. Finally, I ladled the soup from the pot into a large bowl just as Mychael finished flipping the last piece. Ooh, that looks so good. Look at the cheese toast, bro. We settle in for a nice hot dinner. Regardless of how I felt about tomato soup, Michael's turned out rich and creamy, amazing balance of sour and sweet. This man, if I wasn't full, this game would make you hungry. It really would. Dipping in this bite-sized grilled cheese sandwich made it taste like pure savory comfort, crisp and gooey. Even if I'd never had it as a kid, it still made me feel nostalgic somehow. There was still a feeling of still awkwardness, but the food helped ease us both into a warmer, lighthearted conversation. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl, Michael watching me as his chin propped on his hand. His bowl sat empty. Apparently, he had already had his fill. Is the tomato soup your favorite? The question was innocent, though his eyes were observing me carefully as I shrugged. I think I love anything you cook. He still taking a second to process what I said. Oh, well, thank you. No, thank you. I usually get takeout or microwave dinners. Nothing beats home cooked meal food. What's a microwave? I snickered, tried to explain it the best I can. A metal box that heats up food. That sounds like, what's the word in those fancy books? Magic? It's called electricity. Science. Am I using that word right? I laughed lightly. Sometimes science is just like that. Talked about other kitchen appliances off the top of my head, slowly branching out to the other human inventions. He seemed even more interested. I never understood how technology worked. I pulled out my phone, let him fiddle with it. Though the battery dead and there's not much I could show him. He was clearly disappointed. It's about as useful as a brick for now. Otherwise, I have a whole network of information in my hands. His eyes lit up. Like a library? You can access to at any time as long as the battery is alive? As long as I have internet connection. Right. Internet. I don't know you could do that. I just see people staring at the ball all the time. It seems boring. He looked at my phone again, a look of wonder on his face. Having a whole library in your hand. Everyone must be really smart then. You'd be surprised, Michael. No, not really. Not really. No, not really. Not everybody's that smart. Nope. Well, not everyone uses it like a library. More of a messaging hub or a source of content consumption. His ears flickered as he stared at me with a blank smile. Consumption. Can you eat it? Yeah, he has no clue what I'm talking about. So I explained to him the very concept of Web 2.0. I cleared my throat, deciding that I simply won't. Maybe I can show you what I mean someday. His eyes brightened. He seemed to like that idea a lot. You mean that? Can I have some? Yeah. I think it's about time you start getting a little more modern around here. No offense. Imagine what you could do with a generator. I smiled. His smile widened just a tad. The thought that was clueless to his face was a little enduring. Generator? I laughed, reaching across to pat his hand. The gesture made his smile wobble. Like I said, I'll show you someday. A loud crack came against the floorboards, followed by a rhythmic thud. Leaning over, I could see the tip of his tail wagging back and forth, the tip slapping against the floor almost comically. Michael looked flustered as he laughed softly, putting his hand to the back of his neck to rub it. Sorry. He looked like he had more to say about it. Slowly exhaled, gathering himself before tilting his chin towards my empty bowl. Are you done? I nodded as he stood, collected our dirty dishes, heading towards the sink to wash them. I followed close behind, carrying the mugs. We made quick work of the dishes and headed back to the living room to relax. Michael headed to his baskets of knitting materials, his movements routine. I wasn't sure what to do with myself. I looked over at Michael as he pulled out a stool from the corner of the room towards the front of the fireplace. Yeah, I see his stool. His stool's right there. Yeah. His ears flicked in my direction before returning my glance. Do you knit? A little bit. His smile softened. A little is enough sometimes. Can I see what you're working on? He looked surprised, not expecting my interest. Sure, just something I work on when I'm on my downtime. Halfway through, I started realizing that maybe it's not really my color. He lifted it up for me to see, only for my foot to kick the basket and sending the ball of yarn rolling towards the bed. Oh, sorry. I quickly followed after it, only to halt when I spotted something underneath the bed. It was a glinting off the bright firelight within the room. Huh? Approaching the bed and tilting my head lower, I could see there was a tin container the size of a shoebox. What's that? Mychael looked up. Huh? Under your bed, there's something important? A peasant look came across his face. Oh, just some emergency supplies? Nothing too special. I had an inkling it was something more, but I figured I'd let him keep his privacy without prying anymore. I see. He watched me for a moment or two, before clearing his throat. Hey, Firefly? I've been meaning to ask. Do you remember what you said at the river? River? Oh, where I tripped? I pressed my lips and thought, not really. Everything feels fuzzy to me. He seemed disappointed. Oh, not even a little? I shook my head. Why? Did I say something stupid? Just some things. It made me happy. Oh God, I think I did say something stupid. Before I could ask about it, he had already gestured towards the bed. Well, you should get some sleep, Firefly. Want to wake up nice and early? Fine, wee baby, right? The idea of looking for my cat once more made me feel witty. You really think we'll find him? Mychael looked on edge, pocketing his hands. Doesn't hurt to try, but it does hurt to hope. His face twitched. Well, ears flattened as he thought of something to say, clearly struggling. Finally opened his mouth to respond, words slow and careful. I'm here for you. Thank you, Mychael. He nodded, a strange mixture of polite happiness and hidden anxiety playing across his face. Probably not used to another person sticking around this long, let alone someone going through a loss he could care less about. Maybe I've been enough of a burden to him. Actually, he just send me home. His brow raised, his posture straightening in surprise. Are you sure? But what about wee baby? Don't you want to see if we can find him? I'm sure. Look of frustration across his face. But it's so soon. Wee baby could be out there. Mychael, please. I can't think about him right now. I just want to go home. He fidgeted his sleeves of his cardigan. But he looked like he had so much more to say. But whenever turmoil was going on in his head, it quickly slipped behind a reassuring smile. Okay. Get some sleep, Firefly. You've been through a lot. Went to collect his blankets again. Already arranging them into a nest like the night before. Words left my mouth before I could think twice. Do you want to use the bed tonight? Stopped in his track. Oh? No, I don't mind the floor. I meant we'd be sharing the bed. Hearing it out loud just made me want to slap myself across the face. Mychael blinked at me before laughing lightly. Bed is too small for two people, don't you think? I don't think it'd be comfortable for either of us. He eyed the bed frame before looking back at me. I'll be alright. And with that, he crouched on the floor and started settling into his bed, his tail swaying lungedly. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I laid down, faced the wall, sharp sting of embarrassment in my chest, refusing to go away. Why did I ask that? That was so stupid. Maybe I needed a sense of comfort. Maybe I just needed him. Whichever it was, at least I took it at face value. Wasn't sure what I'd even do if he said yes. I groaned internally and shut my eyes, willing myself to go to sleep. He's gonna be in my face again, ain't he? Oh. Last thing I heard was the gentle crackling of the fireplace, accompanied by Mychael's knitting needles clinking away in the dark. Before I knew it, I could hear the birds chirping outside the window. First thing I noticed was the fireplace must have been out, considering I couldn't hear the familiar popping and snapping coming from the room's ambiance. Second thing I realized, the hand gently shaking my shoulder awake. Wake up, sleepyhead. Oh, no. I stirred, yawning as I sat up in bed. Mychael beamed, hand still on my shoulder. There you are. Had a good sleep? I mumbled incorrectly. His smile widened a grin. I blinked myself out of a woozy state. If I didn't know any better, he seemed to enjoy waking me up in the morning just to see my disgruntled expression. Breakfast is ready. Wash up and meet me in the kitchen, all right? Give me a second. I said something in response. Then my hand reached out to ruffle my hair, messing up my bed head further. Hey! He merely laughed at my indolent squat before reminding me once more to get up, steps already thudding towards the kitchen. Recovering after a moment, I stared at the wall, pondering my situation for a second as I made my way to the bathroom. It was the third day since I left my house. I'm missing work, missing my cat, missing my sense of direction. I gotta get back to my life. Today. While I reminded myself of my goal. I padded to the bathroom, freshened up, and joined him in the kitchen. Michael was already seated, cutting into some pancakes. We made pancakes this morning. A smile was bright as I entered the kitchen and stealth clicked closer to my seat as I sat down. Bro, that looks good. Ooh, I wouldn't eat the blueberries, but that looks good. Eat the hell out of the strawberries. Give me some more of those. Similar stack, mouth-watering pancakes was placed across him, waiting for me to dig in. I stay with him. He's taking care of you, girl. I couldn't bring myself to muster up an appetite with so many thoughts filling up my head. He seemed to notice the look on my face, laughing nervously. You look serious. Something on your mind, Firefly? I picked up my fork, twiddling with it. I'm just worried about getting home. Michael fluttered when he lifted a piece into his mouth. Oh, you're still thinking about that? He seemed annoyed, which was a first. Of course. I've been gone for 3 days. People are probably thinking I've gone missing. His gaze lowered, almost grumbling. Is that so bad? What? Yeah, it's bad. Why do you sound like you don't even care? Michael frowned, looking up at me now. Why do you sound like you're desperate to leave? What? All you're ever thinking about. Are you not happy here? Is it not enough? I sighed and rubbed my fingers over my eyes. Michael, we've gone over this. I said it once, and I'll say it again. You've done so much for me already. I can't keep pretending everything's okay here. I want to go home. You need to go home. He sucked in a deep breath, grunting something indecipherable underneath his breath. I only wanted to. He seemed to be battling himself more before finally signing. I'm sorry. You're right. Of course you're right. His tone seemed genuine, even if the hurt in his eyes was clear as day. Aw, I'll send you back today. My eyes narrowed. I mean it this time, I promise. He held his hand over his chest. I swear on my heart. Okay, let's trust him. I mean, how could I not trust him? He was my last hope. Okay. I paused for a moment before adding quickly, thank you. He nodded and went back to eating, watching me expectantly as he took a timid bite. In the moment before swallowing, he spoke again. Can you promise me something? His voice was quiet, for lack of better word, and vulnerable. What is it? Promise me. His mouth hung open for a second or two before he laughed. Promise me you weren't lying when you said you liked my cooking. I snorted. Are you kidding? I like the kind of person to lie. I'm offended, Michael. He laughed again, light, airy. But if I dared to look closer, I could tell it was fake. He probably didn't want to make our last moments tense and awkward. The least I could do was meet him halfway. Aww. Before long, we found ourselves walking down another path from Michael's. The route was different from today, probably because he didn't have any detours in mind. We walked in silence for a while. The only thing accompanying us were the sounds of nature in our footsteps. I couldn't tell what Michael was thinking. I knew he wasn't the talkative type unless spoken to, but right now he seemed eerily quiet. His back was tense, eyes looking nowhere but forward. My voice was itching to say something, anything. But it felt like both of us had some thoughts to disguise, despite it being easier just to say it out loud. Still, silence was getting unbearable. So, we both halted in our steps. There's not a rustling. Michael's ears perked in the direction. What was that? His hands were already rising to hold his crossbow, definitely cocking it with an experienced pull of the string until a solid click was heard. Stay quiet. Stay close. I swallowed, my heart picking up speed. He started stalking low towards the source of the noise, his boots barely making a sound compared to my clumsy footsteps. The rustling continued. The sound of scuffling was occurring between the bushes. Closer, closer, till my ears picked up an unfamiliar high-pitched sound. sounded like a tiny infant screaming. But as morbid as it was, Michael actually relaxed as he recognized it. He stepped hesitant silently towards the source, crossed by lowering until we came across exactly what caused the disturbance. Aw, the poor bunny! It was a rabbit! Small, delicate foot snugged in an old rusty trap. His little body trembled, breathed fast and slow, no doubt scared out of his mind. Oh, the poor bunny. Michael regarded it with empathy before unloading his crossbow, disturbed by the thought of the rabbit, but at the same time revealed the absence of a threat. Just a rabbit. He stood his crossbow behind his back, led out of sight. And out of sight, he looked at it for a moment before looking up towards me. Let's keep going then. My mouth dropped in shock. And leave this poor thing behind? He raised a brow, confused at my bewilderment. Yes. But it's going to die. Face twisted in confusion. It's only what happens to prey animals, yeah. He was nonchalant about it, and I had to keep my emotions in check. We can't do that. Look at it. His expression was understandable. If a little annoyed, I am. Someone left the trap. The rabbit gets caught in it. That's how it works. What do you want me to do? Set it free? Obviously. He was frowning now. I can't. If someone was nearby, they'd be suspicious of how their cat got free. Does that matter? Animals escape the trap all the time. The poor thing is suffering. Savvy, I know you're smarter than this. If it doesn't die today, it'll die tomorrow. To a trap, to a fox, to a hunter. And it probably won't even survive long with its injured foot if we set it free. Probably prolonging the inevitable. Can't put it out of his misery then? He hesitated. You really want me to do that? No. But even then, I don't even know if someone's coming back for it. The thing looks old. I signed impatiently, looking stubborn in his decision. That's the point of a trap. Let's keep things right where they are until you come back. The way he said it just rubbed me the wrong way. Being sadistic, he's being realistic, really. The way the logic made sense, but still, I could hardly believe how needlessly callous it could be. For someone so sweet with his hands, he was so indifferent about the poor rabbit shaking at our feet. I looked down at it once more, my heart breaking as it started to squeak. Michael, please. My heart was torn as the rabbit helpfully kissed his feet and his cries weakened. For a moment, I imagined we'd be being caught in a trap just like this. This one left to starve and die when someone could have been there to help him. No. We can't leave it like this. Please, Michael. Fire's gaze started to soften at my plea. Does it matter that much to you, Firefly? I nodded quickly without hesitation. Yes, we can't leave the poor bunny. Please. It'd be the last time I ever asked for anything. Paused for another moment before shaking his head with a defeated sign. Somehow I doubt this is the last time. A smile in his voice, though. But all right. I'll do it for you. Stand back. I had to pry it open. My gratitude was clear on my face as he pulled out a deadly-looking hunting knife from his pocket, kneeling down next to the rabbit. The terrified creature started to wiggle all over again at the sight of the looming threat. Michael grunted as he headed down it firmly with one hand. It started to fall, still under his hold, relaxing completely, with his foot hanging limp. He sure had a way with animals. I backed away, giving him some space, not wanting to distract him. As he worked to free the rabbit, I looked around, taking in my surroundings. The trees felt somewhat familiar. A flash of memory playing in my mind. Casting one light glance towards Michael's back, I wandered a bit further away, making sure to stay within earshot. Took a few steps before I came across a familiar sight. Oh! What's that? The circle of mushrooms from the other day. I recall that wee baby was definitely here. I hesitated at the edge of it. A sourceless sense of fear suddenly coursing through me as I stared at it. Had it grown bigger? The longer I stood there, the more fear dissipated, my limbs tingling and pleasantly urging me forward. I realized that my foot was already lifting to approach it. Closer, closer. Staring at it, the fuzzy haze crept over my mind. My face was warm. I found myself smiling at the oddly comforting familiar. Oh my god, I'm getting hypnotized by the mushrooms. Like recalling a fond memory. Like greeting an old friend. Look, it's my hand! I knelt down to expect growth reaching out to brush my hand on one of the mushroom caps. Oh! Or someone yanked my wrist back. What? Don't. Huh? Don't touch those. Huh? I looked to see Mychael looming over me, gaze sharp, irises shaped like thin silvers. You have a terrible habit of wandering off, don't you? I go, I just. How's Rabbit? Is it safe? His eyes narrow as I failed to change the subject. It's free, like you've asked. Don't touch those. Mychael squeezed my wrist before letting go. I rubbed my wrist. It didn't hurt, but his grip was intense. But why? What's wrong with them? Nothing. Don't touch them. I just thought they looked pretty, that's all. You did, though? I shook my head, feeling disoriented. My mind flickered between the thoughts rapidly, like a broken radio station. I snapped his fingers for my attention. Look at me, Firefly. Voice snippy and irritated. Huh? I blinked rapidly to ground myself, scratching my head as I tried to gather my thoughts. Talk to me. Say anything. What people think they're magic. Yeah, that's a pretty common belief with mushroom rings, ain't it? I hang on to that thought. Keep going. Like, related to fae folk, you know? That's why they're called fairy rings. Or fairy circle? I'll go squint it before easing demeanor. Just a little less tense compared to before. They do look like they could summon a portal at any moment and whisk you away. I looked over at Mychael, expecting him to look amused. Instead, he was glaring down at the ground as if the mushrooms were the most vile thing he'd ever seen. No. More of an invasive species than anything else. Follow this gaze to the harmless circle of fungi. They are? We should do something about it? And he blinked as if coming out of a daze. No! Sorry, just the thought that slipped out. He pinched the bridge of his nose, his normal soft face tired and grumbled. Normally I'd leave them alone, do their business, but having you here. Anyways, just don't touch it, okay? He's being far too uptight about something as trivial as a circle of mushrooms. Feels like there's more to it than that. The sign was exaggerated. They just grew in my part of the forest is all. They make me uncomfortable. Definitely felt like Mychael wanted to use a stronger word than uncomfortable. Barely concealed growl beneath his teeth. La la la. Why? I thought you liked mushrooms. My girl's ears flattened. Not those. They're not even real mushrooms. They're not? No. He seemed to hesitate before blurting. They just happen to mimic mushrooms. Oh? Never heard of something like that. Though there are some pretty wild foliages out here that could copy the look of nearby plants. Does it have a name? Ross scrunched up in confusion. What, them? Yeah, as in species? Oh, not entirely sure. I can recognize them by the sight, though. So just stick with me and we're not out of the woods, okay? I really don't want you anywhere near them. All right, if you say so. Just don't get how they can be so invasive is all. I consider it invasive when they come onto my property. Oh, yeah, I get that. You're really getting angry over mushrooms. I'm going to be honest. You're acting really weird about it, Mychael. Getting more agitated the longer we stand there, hands clenching into tight fists. Savvy, I know I ask a lot from you, but please, let's just leave them alone, okay? But why? There's nothing. Oh, God! Look, can we just. I flinched, backing away from him as his voice rang through the trees. Silence passed between us before he took a deep breath. I'm sorry. Please, can we just step away from here? He held out his hand. His fingers were trembling. Decline it. Let's take his hand. Okay. I closed my hand around his, noting the way his tail flicked hard, thumped against his leg. His fingers were calloused around my own, twitching at the unfamiliar sensation. I sat beside him, looking at him expectantly. Oh, I didn't think you'd take it. I surprised you! Ha ha! It's my turn to get flustered. You offered. I know I did. I thought I scared you, so I waited for the other to say something or place. Grown heated as the seconds passed, he finally laughed, exclaiming something strange and garbled before squeezing my hand. Savvy, you're really something special. Aww, I hope you realize that. He gave my hand another tight squeeze, snapping me out of my daydream. Let's get you home, Firefly. Is he really gonna take me home, though? He took the lead, his footing sure and confident. He must have noticed my unsteady gait. Beside him, as he stumbled veered towards a clearing path I could easily follow. I didn't verbalize it, but I was definitely grateful for that. As much as the forest was growing on me, getting my feet caught in roots and twigs every few steps, getting tiring after a while. Our steps felt into rhythm next to each other. I peeked at Mychael every once in a while, tried to gauge his mood after what happened. Even after spending so much time with him, it was so difficult to read. How can someone both wear their heart on their sleeve, yet keep it stitched tightly, never letting anyone come too close? I knew he had secrets, and he wanted to keep close to his chest, but I wished he'd just open up to me a little bit. The silence that hung in the air was making my skin prickle. What's your favorite animal? I was so caught in my thoughts I didn't realize I blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. Michael regarded me with a curious ear flick. My favorite animal? First his lips, and then thought before his ears perked up. Jellyfish. I did it the whole thing. One thing for him to have an answer so readily, but the choice was something else. A jelly. Why a jellyfish? I thought it'd be, I don't know, a bird or something. He shrugged. They're pretty to look at, or at least from pictures I've seen. Plus, I kind of relate to them. He said that without zero hesitation. How exactly do you relate to a jellyfish? Expression flattened as if deciding on the right way he could explain his answer. Let's just say I have something in common with a jellyfish. Well, one jellyfish. In what way? That they're pretty to look at? A strange noise slipped past his throat. No? You wouldn't get it. Try me. Bet. No. I groaned like a dying whale. Oh! In exasperation, shoulders slump as I had back problem. He's not gonna elaborate anymore, is he? He probably spotted the vein growing on my forehead as he snickered. Relax, Firefly. I'm gonna faint on the spot if you think any harder. You are allowed to get upset about a mushrooms. I'm allowed to get upset about a jellyfish. Smile dropped for a second before his cheeky grin returned. Touche. Touch? Touch. That's what? You know, touch. I stared at him, his happy grins shifting into a confusing frown. You know, touch. When, it's like saying you're right. You mean touche? He smiled instantly. Yeah. This man is going to be the death of me. He's so cute. He don't know any of the human phrases. It's cute. He laughed at my screwed up grimace, waving a hand hesitantly. What about you? What's your favorite animal? Your chickens. He looked taken back, clearly not expecting that answer. Really? Yeah, they're so cute. I don't want to bring up my cat because I don't want to make my character sad. Yeah, who wouldn't fall in love with little darlings? He seemed pleased with that answer, clearly a wise smile softening further. You're right. Who wouldn't fall in love with a little darling? We continued idly chatter after that. I didn't even know how much time had passed. The trees slowly thinned and the sounds of nature muffling as the canopy started to grow scarce. Suddenly, I heard a soft yet familiar rumble of a car in the distance. I almost didn't pick up on it, fully immersed on whatever Mychael was rambling on about. Something about the life cycle of Turadorni? Whatever it was he called it. Oh, we really walked that far already? I left Mychael's side and rushed forward. He made a sound of surprise but followed suit. I neared the edge of the forest, just another car drove by. I recognized my street instantly. Oh my god, look, it's my house, you guys! It's that one, that's my house right there! Breaking into a light jog, I almost missed Mychael calling my name as I ran down the road. There! My house was visible from where I stood by the street. I was breathing heavily by the time Mychael approached my side, man barely making a sound as I took in the sight. Oh, I missed this. I turned to thank Mychael. Only to startle when a bundled stranger took his place. Oh! That's how he comes into town. He looks cute! Oh my god! Ah! Sorry. People about... I couldn't see anyone around, but I guess he was right to be safe. I guess that's his version of a disguise. He looks cute. Look at him. If I were to pass him on the street, I don't think I would have bothered to look twice. I mean, I don't want to say thank you to your face, but I'll settle for this, I guess. I don't want to say thank you to your face, but he chuckles a little muffled underneath the scarf. He pulled it down as to speak properly. Did I scare you? I got distracted. Mychael's eyes squinted from where I could see them. Uh-huh. He chose the perfect glasses because they do cover his eyes. Like, even the ones down here. He don't really need anything to cover his face down here, though. Unless, yeah, he is kind of, yeah, that is right. He does have green skin. I forgot about that. He does have to hide that. I wonder how you don't get lost every 20 steps. Hey! He laughed with my offended tone. You better not go back in there, got it? I'm not always going to be around to find you. Who says I need you around to find me? Almost instantly, his eyes hardened underneath his sunglasses. I'm serious. Don't go wandering into those woods again. I might have to start taking drastic measures just to make sure you stay put right where you are. I sputtered indulgently. I'll wander wherever I please. Sure. Looked over my shoulder towards my house. So that's where you live, huh? Looks cozy. I wasn't sure if he was being genuinely considering he lived in the woods, back in the ends of the middle of nowhere. Suddenly I pricked up at the thought. You want to come by? His eyes started towards me, a shock evident in his face. Me? To your home? I nodded, frozen completely. For a second I thought he stopped breathing. I'd love to. Oh! Suddenly barking. A shout started both of us. My body jerked forward as his arm yanked me close. I heard a soft rustle of his sunglasses fell to the grass from the sudden motion. He had suddenly worn his beanie shaken off his head. I looked up just as my neighbor calling out to their dog. Oh, looks like dude is back from college. I paused, feeling his grip tighten. I looked down at his hand on my shoulder before glancing up at him. Mychael? Oh no. He snapped back to the present, his hands releasing me quickly. Sorry. He looked towards my neighbor and their dog for another moment, turning back to me. I don't think it's a good idea for me to go with you. I don't want to be seen. I deflated just a little. But you have your disguise, don't you? He shook his head hesitantly. I can't risk it. Better this way. Spoke faintly as it's starting to become familiar. Aw, no! Come to the house! We can hang out! If he wasn't feeling fine. At least I was. Before he could pick up his accessories, I gently grabbed his wrist. And can I come to visit you instead? What? I helped impatiently. If you won't come to mine, then I'll go to yours. Once again, he rendered speechless. Why would you ever want to see me again? At this point, I was starting to look and sound peeved. For all his good traits, constant need to build his walls higher around me was starting to get annoying. I folded my arms, looking stern. His eyes widened as pronation, ears flattened like a cat in the middle of scolding. Mike, can you just accept the fact maybe I enjoy your company and I wouldn't mind more? I'm sorry, no one's ever, but you wanted to go home so badly. Oh, this man is so hopeless. Yes, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I'm going to forget about you completely. Besides, I promised I'd show you what phones do, didn't I? Dismissing the fact that there was probably not much I could show when there's no data in the woods. I'm sure he'd been enthralled by whatever danky mobile game I had installed at the time. The point was, I just wanted to see him again. So that means I get to see you again? I picked up an eager tone in his voice, realizing he wished for the same sentiment. Yeah, I want to. His voice burrowed every second. Firefly. He cleared his throat, laughing to himself. Abby, you can't imagine how much it means to me. A lot. It means a lot. More than you know. I nodded, a giddy smile creeping onto my face. How's next weekend? Yeah, go every weekend, girl! You got work during the week, you can go on the weekend. He tilted his head. That's 7 sundowns from now. 5. His smile widened, squinted in absolute delight. Okay, I'll meet you here then. I smiled at him, figuring this was goodbye. Aw, give him a hug! I give you a hug. I didn't think twice. My arms spread and wrapped around him before he could react. Mychael froze head to toe, inhaling sharply as his shoulders tensed. For a second, I thought I triggered a fight or flight or freeze response. Took a few seconds before he shifted into a appropriate light, placing his hands on the small of my back, and a loose hold fingertips splayed awkwardly along my spine. He seemed to gain confidence as he wrapped his arms around me properly, shaking slightly, leaving his body. A shaking sign leaving his body as he relaxed. A faint rhythmic rumble emanated from his chest. My eyes widened at the strange feeling. Was he purring? I knew I heard that sound before, but he was definitely purring. I didn't have time to dwell on it for long. His grip was getting tighter. I was about to sputter a protest. Another car passed and made him jump and release me. I had to step away to catch my breath after the squeeze. His arms dropped to his side and a blank stare in my direction. Oh! Out of the corner of my eye, I could see his hands clenching tightly as if holding himself back. I looked up at him, expecting him to say something first. But instead, he just stared at me like I grew a third eye. I quickly cleared my throat and cheeks starting to burn. Anyways, I gave him one last light punch to the shoulder. Felt like punching a sack of grain. I'll see you next weekend. Ignoring the heat in my face, I looked both ways before jogging across the street. I'm going to the blue house, it's my house! My neighbor in my yards looked up as I approached, her eyes lighting up in recognition. Stabby! Oh, your dog's got this split eye, look at that. Their hands fidgeted as the frisbee in their hands as they approached. Their ever-loyal Lucia followed close behind. I was wondering where you've been. I dropped by to give you some cake over the weekend, but you weren't home, and you didn't answer your phone, and your packages were piling up at the door, and I held my hands up in a peaceful gesture. Loud, fine. At our feet, Lilith was steadily pawing at their elbow to calm them down. Oh, look, he's so cute. The mouse stopped midway through another sentence, blinking rapidly. Sorry. He reached down and pet Lucia's head, significantly calmer as they asked me again. Where were you? Where have you been? I was, visiting a friend. For a little detox. Digital detox. Off the grid and all that. They blinked slowly and nodded. Oh, that sounds exciting. By the tone of their voice, they didn't mean it at all. But what about wee baby? Did you manage to find him? My mood instantly dropped. No. That's why I went all the way in the first place, you could say. But it took a few seconds for Bill to understand what I meant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. They straightened, flashed empty on their face before they smiled. Well, Lenny and I are around. Semester break if you need anything. We should do a movie night. Maybe that'll lift your spirits. I found this really good one that I think you'll like, and did some research, and it feels like it's right up your alley. Lucy and I take a quick drive to the store. So just let us know when you're up for it. Yeah, get your favorite snacks and stuff. Give a happy bark, a familiar word. A smile quirked at my lips. I'll bring orange soda. Their expression lit up happily. Take care. I bid them both goodbye, walking up my driveway. Once I got to my door, I had the urge to turn around one last time. Surprised Mychael was... Oh, there he is. Okay, I was like, where is he? There he is. I was surprised to see Mychael still standing on the forest edge, shadowed by the trees. Our eyes made contact. His almost fierce yellow shining against the shade. Gave him a big wave. It took a moment, but he waved back. Smiling to myself, I unlocked the front door and let myself inside. It was surreal standing inside my doorway again. I felt like Alice, who just woke up at the end of the book, feeling like I'd dreamed of Wonderland. Tossed my keys in my backpack by the hall carelessly before plugging my phone into the charger. Started playing catch up with the people who might have tried to reach me during my absence. Work, family, friends. Ugh. I grumbled aloud, flopping onto the living room couch. Ah well. At least I had this weekend to look forward to. That's all from 3 days of Mushroom Oasis demo. That's the demo? More updates coming in the future. Tell me what you think of the game. Any support and feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you for playing. Oh my god, I loved it! That was lovely! That was so cute. I need more! I need more! I need more! He was cute! That was lovely. That was a lovely little story. I really can't wait to hear more. I'm gonna have to leave a review. But you guys, if you want to play it, it's on itch.io. You gotta go and check it out and support the creator. Help him out. Help him out. We gotta have more. Can't wait for more. I I gotta have to put this on my wish list. That was a demo. I can't believe that was a demo. But anyway, I loved it. I hope you guys liked it. And I'll have to look around for some more. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe one, not as a dating one. I know I got a dating slasher game that I want to play. That one looks fun. We're going to play that one soon, too. Yeah. But, anyway, we're off track. But, yeah, we'll think of more games to play and, come back to the next episode. So I hope you guys like it just as much as I did. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I love you guys. And remember, I love you. Stay safe. And I hope you guys have a good day and or night for whenever you are watching this. So, goodbye. I love you. Mwah.